South Africa is in for major change in the structure of its government. With the African National Congress, the ANC, that has ruled single-handedly for the last 30 years, now having to seek a coalition partner. An official declaration of results by South Africa's Election Commission is to happen on Sunday evening. Now, in a new twist, former South African President Jacob Zuma, who heads the MK party, along with 20 other parties, are calling for result announcements to be postponed. Zuma has threatened legal action, demanding that the announcement of the country's election results be stopped, till allegations of vote rigging made by his party aren't addressed.
No. Need the time. Nobody must declare tomorrow. Yes. No. If that happens, people will be provoking us, because we know what we are talking about.
Yes.
We are not guessing.
Yes. Yeah.
We know. And why should they rush to count? And I'm hoping whoever is responsible is hearing what we are saying. Don't start trouble.
With 99% votes now counted, the ANC vote share stands at just 40%, far below the 57% it held earlier. Here's what the votes picture looks like. The ANC had dipped way below the majority mark. The main opposition party, the Democratic Alliance, has 21% of the vote share. The new MK party, formed by former President Jacob Zuma, who once led ANC but stepped down after corruption charges, came third with just over 14%. And the Radical Economic Freedom Fighters, EFF, is on 9%. The new president would typically be elected 2 weeks after the final results. Parliament has to convene and elect a president within 14 days of the formal announcement of the final election results. The ANC will need to form a coalition government with one or more of the opposition parties. It remains to be seen whether it will join hands with the DA, MK, or one of the smaller players. Negotiations will be complicated, with several parties, including the MK party, refusing to back Ramaphosa as president. Despite the uncertainty, South African opposition parties have hailed the new political picture as a much-needed change. And to give us an insight on South Africa's politics and ANC's options, we were earlier joined by Edwin Naidu, a journalist and political commentator from Johannesburg. Here's what he said.
Well, ironically, the ANC has been very keen to celebrate 30 years of democracy, and a lot of their messaging ahead of campaigning focused on what government has done. But I think, what's very evident is they failed to read the mood of the people. Corruption, the electricity, power cuts, water, inequality, unemployment, they've all been major things that the ANC really never had a grip on. So I think no one really, people were predicting the decline of the ANC, but, I think it's very seismic in terms of the magnitude of the defeat. They've now got to work with enemies, basically, if they want to continue staying as ruling party. I think you saw the national chairperson 2 days ago had a sort of very arrogant attitude towards the success of MK party in KZN. But I think, the ANC, a lot of people on the ground are talking about healing, letting the party renew itself, because what we've seen from a national leadership level has been anything but healing. Because when you look at 1 billion rand spent on the commission to investigate state capture, not a single government official has been charged or put in prison for billions that have been stolen. So I think the ANC took voters for granted and paid the price.